So we were making plans for projects to come, and then 4 days later he was gone. In the last year of Garcia's life, they would call me up, or they called me up a couple of times, and they asked me. They said, "We're playing Charlotte. Would you fly down here and we'll rent a piano? Because if you would come play with us, because Jerry needs a lift, and we're thinking maybe your presence might lift him up because he was really struggling. I mean, really." And this was just, again, in hindsight, a few months before he died. So that was, say, March of the spring tour. I went down there, played at the Charlotte Coliseum with them, and had a great time with them. And then they asked me to do the same thing at RFK 3 months later in June. So I played both nights at RFK. And but I could tell he was really having a hard time.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I decided, I was worried about him. And so a couple of weeks after that, maybe a week after their tour ended, I called his house, and Steve Parrish answered. You guys know who Steve Parrish is, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Big Steve answered the phone, and he says, "Hey, Bruce, we're just taking Jerry to Betty Ford, man." I said, okay, well, that's great to hear. And he said, "Look, here he is." So Garcia got on the phone, and we had a nice talk, and he said, "Yeah, okay, I've decided to do this. I guess there was some sort of intervention that happened. I'm not sure about that, but I'm just guessing, because he was always really resistant." So then, so then I said, "Okay, good luck." And a couple of weeks after that, I decided to call out there to get a progress report, if anyone picked up the phone. Well, sure enough, Parrish answers again. He says, "Hey, man, Jerry's back." I said, "Oh, man, really? He's supposed to be there for weeks and weeks, and this is just 2 weeks after I called." He said, "Yeah." Jerry Garcia got on the phone. He said, "Yeah, I think I've kicked it. I think I'm good. I feel great." He told me stories about all these people that he met. Some guy who used to play with Django Reinhardt in the 20s in France. All these interesting stories that people he'd met. And so we talked a lot that day. He sounded pretty good, and we talked about. I was getting ready to do something with Ornette Coleman, and Ornette had played with them, and so we talked about that. And he said, "Wow, I'd sure like to be fly on the wall of that." I said, "Well, let's try to get it hooked up, get you to be a part of that." So we were making plans for projects to come, and then 4 days later he was gone. 4 days after that, he died.
It was 4 days after he got a rehab, he was out?
Yeah, he went to Serenity Knolls and copped, and so that was that. Yeah, so that's that. From where I sit, that's my version of that time